Hi, and welcome to Code FP Academy. We are still on our generative AI course, and this is the part two of the introduction to image generation. So, we are now going to look at how AI understands style, lighting, and composition. So, when generating an image, the AI does not only focus on the main object or subject in the prompt, it also tries to understand how the image should look visually. So this would include elements such as style, lighting, composition, mood, color, camera angle, and level of detail. So these elements will help shape the final image and determine whether it looks realistic, artistic, cinematic, professional, playful, or dramatic. So these are why image prompts are not just about what you want to see, but how you would want it to appear. So let's look at style. How does AI understand style? So first we need to understand what the style is. So style refers to the artistic appearance or visual format of an image. So style will answer the question like this question. What kind of image should this look like? You get it. So what kind of image should this look like? And how does AI learn style? So during the training, the model is exposed to different kinds of images, including realistic photography, paintings, illustrations, 3D renders, cartoons, and graphic designs. So as a result, to learn what certain styles usually look like. You get it. Now let's move on to lighting. Lighting refers to how light appears in the image. It affects brightness, shadows, realism, depth, emotional feel, and atmosphere. So it is very important because it changes how an image feels to the viewer. Lighting matters because it can help the AI to decide where the light source should come from, where shadows should appear, which parts of the image should stand out, whether the image will feel warm, cool, soft, or dramatic. Now let's talk about composition. Composition is the arrangement of objects and visual elements in the image. So it refers to how the scene is organized and how the viewer's eye is guided through the image. So composition answers questions like where should the main subject appear? Should the image be close up or wide angle? What should be in the background or foreground? And what should the viewer notice first? What about mood and emotion? Mood refers to the emotional atmosphere of an image. So it can make an image feel peaceful, exciting, mysterious, joyful, futuristic, dramatic, or serious. And mood is often created through a combination of color, lighting, style, environment, weather, and scene design. So, how does AI combine all these elements? So, the best prompts often combine several visual instructions together. So, an example prompt is a futuristic robot teacher standing in the modern classroom, 3D illustration, bright lighting, scented composition, and clean educational design. So let's copy this prompt and put it into some of these AI models and see the output that we are going to get. All right, so now let's head to Gemini and paste in our prompts. So a futuristic robot teacher standing in a modern classroom, 3D illustration, bright lighting, scented composition, clean educational design. So if you incorporated what we discussed into this prompt, so let's see the output that we are going to get from Gemini. All right. So it will be done very soon. Okay, so you can see that this is the image that we have from Gemini. You can see It's just took our prompt and has generated this clean image for us. So now let's head to this site. There are some sample prompts that I would like us to try. So promptplume.com. There are many AI generated images here together with their prompts. So we will just copy the prompts and send them into our image generation models and see what we would get. So let's pick this one first. Then let's head to Copilot. So I've pasted, you can see it's a very long prompt that is described what we want the model to generate. So whilst we wait for it to generate, let's copy another one and paste it in another model. So let's load more, see if we see another prompt that we would like. So let's pick this one, this football one. All right. So let's paste that one into Gemini. You can see it's another long prompt. Hit on enter and wait for it. So when we came back to Copilot, you can see that we needed to add a reference image. So I'll just upload an image so that we can get the image that we want the model to generate for us. So I'll just add one image that I generated some time ago as our reference image. Right, so I've added that image. Let's go back to Gemini and see the image that it has generated for us. So okay, let's hit on this one and continue to Gemini. So I've added the image and now the model will generate our image for us. You can see for Gemini, we have this image of Rashford here. For those who are into football, I believe the Manchester United GC. And this describes the prompt that we pasted it into it. Now let's head back to prompt plume and pick another one and see what we would get. Let me find out. So let's use this one. Okay, so I've copied it. Now let me paste the prompt here. So this one will also need a reference image. So I'll attach that image, then we generate our new image. So as you can see, I've attached our reference image and we can now generate our image. So let's head back to Copilot and see what we have from the very first prompt. So this is what we got from the very first prompt based on our reference image. So let's wait for Gemini to also finish doing this. There are tons of prompts that you can try your hands on at Prompt Plume. So the site is promptplume.com. You can just head there and play around with some of the prompts and just have fun with this image generation. So Gemini is also done, and you can see it has also given us this nice image. Okay, so this is how to add all that we discussed into our image prompts. So these are some popular AI image tools that we'll be looking at, or some of them we'll be using some of them throughout this lesson. Big Jenny, DALI, Firefly, Canva AI, Leonardo, and all that. And let's look at some common challenges in image generation. So the first one is prompt misunderstanding. So one of the most common challenges is that the AI may interpret the prompt, misinterpret the prompt. Right, that's right. So, for example, This happens if the prompt is too vague, too short, unclear, and missing important details. For example, if a user types a teacher in a classroom, the image has to guess what kind of teacher, which age group, what style, and all that. So how do we improve that? Just incorporate what we discussed earlier into the prompt so that the AI will now know how to make it look very real. Second one is strange hands, faces, or body parts. Another well-known issue in AI image generation is that they may create too many fingers, distorted hands, unusual facial features, unnatural body positions, and awkward eye placement. So this happens because body structure can be complex and very detailed. Sometimes AI struggles to arrange them correctly. You get it? So why does this happen? AI does not draw a hand the way human artists might want. It predicts what a hand should probably look like based on patterns it has seen. So we can improve them by using clearer prompts or by regenerating the image that we had, finding the prompt with more detailed and using editing tools to correct those small errors. Another one too is inconsistent object placement. This also has to do with the prompts. Too much or too little details. And the AI may create that frequently too cluttered, missing important elements overloaded with unnecessary details. The next one is style inconsistency. So another challenge is that the AI may mix styles in a way that looks strange or balanced. So the image may combine realistic faces with cartoon backgrounds, 3D images in a flat illustration styles, particular lighting with playful cartoon animations, and difficult with text inside images. At first, this used to be a big issue, but right now, these models have been trained to really work around this. With time, we can see that some of the images with text inside them are becoming very clearer and accurate. Get it? And repetition and similar looking results. So some AI may generate images that feel repetitive, too similar, lacking originality, and visually predictable. So we've known that AI image generation allows users to create visuals from written descriptions. It works by learning patterns from large image and data sets. Models like diffusion models and GANs help power image generation. Prompt details such as lighting and transition strongly affect results. Better prompts and careful refinements lead to better AI generated images. So that brings us to the end of the introduction to image generation lesson. In the next lesson, we'll be looking at how to craft the image prompts so that we can get real and very accurate image. Thank you and see you in the next one.